Organizations have been looking at the content associated with a training program as a discrete set of assets, and the technology used to deliver it as something very different for 2 decades now, or as long as any form of e-learning has existed. It's virtually impossible to do that, and there's a few reasons for it moving forward. I mean, the first is just the way we consume any type of information now. Think about all the devices, all the screens that we use to acquire knowledge, and how that's changed our habits. Things are more modular, things are more interactive, things are frankly designed from a content perspective in a way that's going to entice us to consume them. So it's no longer really possible to just look at content and design some level of content asset, be it a 45-minute asynchronous module or a virtual classroom session, and do it in a vacuum. Because if you don't understand the technologies that are going to actually be used to deliver that training, if you don't think about what type of data you want to collect, how you're going to measure, how you're going to actually take those inputs and then report out on them, you're not going to design an effective training program. You're not going to ensure that your learners are engaged in a way that is most effectively delivering whatever message it is that you're trying to get across. So in a world where our consumption habits are impacted by the technologies that we're using to consume, training's in the same boat. It's impossible to design any type of training content without thinking about your technology. Traditionally, an organization has been able to outsource the development of e-learning modules, and that's what they think of as a content asset. And so there's a writer, there's an instructional designer, and then there's a multimedia assembler. And in the end, you have a zip package with a SCORM module delivered to you. And then you have a learning management system provider, and they get you implemented, they have your users set up, they get your assignments built, and everything works well together, in theory. Here at ClearPoint, we've done all of those things, and we've done them effectively. We have built e-learning modules from scratch. We've developed our own e-learning technologies in terms of HTML5 or Flash-based players. We've also developed learning management systems. That means that we have a full working knowledge of industry standards. SCORM is the industry standard of note. And as we move forward, the Tin Can API is something that's going to be more fully implemented and leveraged as well. That's the method by which content and technology talk. And so when you've built technology and you've built content and you've done it under the same roof, you can design a learning strategy that guarantees not just effective content training or knowledge training, but also collection of knowledge measurements, collection of other measurements that are critical to you in a way that's going to make for an effective training program delivered modularly with the most pull-through from your end learners.